Here's today's video update. I got the firewall cut out. Got the whole front end up off of the hoist. Dropped it all down. Moved it all inside about to where it's gonna sit. Just put the hood on there so I can kind of get a look at what it's gonna look like. And there's how far the rear end sits back if I use the drive shaft and I don't have it shortened. And that I did the measurements with the rims I'm gonna put on it and the tires I'm gonna put on it. That's about right. So pretty good. I don't have to shorten that drive shaft or anything. It should go right in there. So, and there's how it's gonna look with the hood on it. Everything fits right up in there. It's amazing. The one thing that I was most concerned about was where that frame was gonna meet up inside there, and actually it's perfect. I don't know how that happened, but it's perfect. So what I'll do is build my frame off the ground to connect right into there, and it'll connect right up. Don't get no better than that. That's everything laid out. The whole front end's down, the cradle's on the ground and everything, so that's about where it's gonna sit. The body's gonna sit a little bit higher because it kind of fell off the little shims I put under it there while I was working on it, but that's about where it's gonna sit and how it's gonna look. I got the gas tank out of there. Actually, it doesn't go back as far as I thought it would, the transmission. So next thing is just finish cutting this floor out. You know, put the drive shaft through there and then weld the frame through there, and then make the cage and everything around the drive shaft, and start putting my floor back in. And that's the next step. It's getting there though. Like I said, here's about how far from the cab the rear end's gonna sit with the stock drive shaft, not having to, you know, mess with it or nothing. And actually it's perfect. So it's getting there a lot faster than I thought it would. It definitely sped up the process, already having my motor, trans, suspension, everything all together in the front end, just chopping it off there. So what I'm going to do with this excess frame here is cut it back as far as I can and still leave the mounts. So I'll cut it. It's probably going to get cut back to about here. And then my plan is to make like a round cap on it, so it kind of looks like the traditional front end, how they have the round, you know, piece on the front there. And then for the core support here, I'm just going to weld some brackets, you know, make them look cool. Weld some brackets to hold this in place, front, top, and bottom, and that should be it. And then I'm also going to make you know, brackets for my lights to hold my lights in there. It's all working out pretty good so far. Running a couple little speed bumps, but nothing major. That's about it. That's the progress for the day. Everything's in there and tucked away, and made some pretty good progress.